Today we're going to the Cumberland Island National Seashore Museum.
What's up, peoples? And it's free too. So Cumberland Island is where we're going to go to tomorrow if the weather's good. It's been really, really hot. So we're trying to beat the heat plus the rain. But Cumberland Island used to be a pirate island. And if everybody remembers their history, JFK Jr., that's where he got married, was on Cumberland Island. It's a private island that used to be where all the rich elite people used to come winter. And now the government owns it. It made it into a national park. So that's what we're going to go check out tomorrow. And this museum here dictates towards all of the Cumberland Island and St. Mary's, towards the history of the area. Okay, what a lot of people don't know is we're located in St. Mary's, Georgia, and St. Mary's, Georgia is considered the second oldest city in the United States based upon when they put their charters in. St. Augustine is the first city that put their charter in to become a city, but St. Mary's is actually older than St. Augustine is. But I can't remember how many flags this place has been under, but it's like the Spanish, the French, the British, the Confederacy, America. But St. Mary's has been under a lot of different flags. But this is a free museum that you can come into. It's kind of quaint. There's a lot of history in it. You take your time. It's self-guided. They have volunteers that work here if you have any questions. But I believe it's only open Monday through Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. So you do have to check Google it up to make sure, but you definitely need to come in here and check this out. This is something that you really should check out before you go to the island to get a kind of basic understanding of what the island's all about. It talks about the indigenous people that used to live here, plus the slaves that were brought over to Cumberland Island. So there's a lot of history here.
They have 50 miles of trails,
Yeah.
18 miles of beaches.
So we're going to be going over there tomorrow, and we're going to be doing one of the trails. I think it's like 5 miles that we're going to go hike tomorrow, and it kind of goes around I guess that would be the southern tip of the island, goes through the swamp, through the woods, and then up to the beach.
Swamp.
Yeah.
We're going through a swamp?
We're going through a swamp, and then to the beach, and all kinds of wild horses and stuff. When I used to be stationed here in the Navy, we would take our personal boats over there and just go to the beach area, and we'd always take apples and feed the wild animals, or wild horses, the apples. But be careful, because they do bite, they are wild. But we're going to go to the beach and then go back through the forest and then back towards where the ferry picks you up. So it's $40 a person. It's $20 to get there, and it's $20 to get back. And you have to buy a round trip ticket. You can't just go there one way and not come back. You have to come back. But you can camp over there too. So they have lots of campgrounds and stuff like that. But you take your own water. There's no water, power, or anything like that. So you got to take everything that you want to live off of. You have to take there with you.
I can't rough it that much. This is the house that was owned by Thomas and Lucy Carnegie, called Dungeness.
Yeah, that's
from 1884 to 1905.
It's burnt down now, so it's just the ruins that we'll see. We probably will see that tomorrow.
Yeah. It's a cool model, though.
Yeah. I think it had like 54 bedrooms or something like that in there. I can't remember, but god-awful amount.
So that's how people used to travel.
The only way you can get over to Cumberland Island is by boat. So there's no roads that you can drive. You have to take the boat.
So these are the trunks that people used to carry instead of suitcases, because they were bringing a lot of stuff with them. You stand this up and it has drawers in it. And
You see how this one is? You see how this one is round? Do you know why they did that?
Yes. They did that so that nobody could put anything on top of their
Correct.
luggage.
So the more expensive your luggage, they made it round so they couldn't stack luggage on top. Or if you see this one's flat. so you could stack luggage on top of it. So it
Yeah.
was a little on the cheaper side. But if you see one that's round, back in the day, that was like the more expensive luggage that you could get because you couldn't stack anything on top of it.
We learned that at Hardman Farms.
You sure did.
Wait, that's an old typewriter. Is that a cash register
I think
there?
that's like an old calculator. Maybe a print. It looks like some kind of printer. Maybe to print checks or something.
It might be a check printer.
Look at the old style bathing suits.
Yep.
That was the bikini back in the day.
And even something on their head. I guess that umbrella's for sun.
Yeah, keep the sun off of them. Because back in the day, women didn't get suntans.
Right.
The fairer the skin, the more beautiful they were.
So here's some more models. So this has some shells in it, and this right here, that is a sea turtle shell.
It's a humpback whalebone.
Oh, that's cool. And a horseshoe crab. I have one of those in
Look
our
how
living room.
look how small the deer were back in the day compared to what I have at the
Oh,
cabin.
yeah.
Look how small it is. That's a 6-pointer. That's really tiny.
There's a possum head, oops, and a raccoon head. Some pretty shells. Oh, the sea urchin's really tiny. What? That's an anchor?
Yeah,
Oh, I guess it's an anchor that's kind of disintegrated.
yeah, it's an anchor.
Wow. It's an Admiralty anchor from the 1800s. We've got a video playing called The Forgotten Invasion. So this is one-day rations. So for a Revolutionary War soldier in 1775, this is what they would get. And
I think
then
that would be
the
on a
War
good
of
day.
1812, this is a one-day ration. And in the early 1800s, that's what they would get. Wait a minute. A gallon of beer. Okay, so in this one, they get a gill of rum, which that looks kind of like a pint. Oh, there it is. 1
Yeah.
gallon of beer. Wow, every day. I wouldn't think they would give the military that.
Yeah, the United States military Navy is the only one that has no alcohol on board. A lot of the other foreign navies, they have alcohol. The British, they get like 3 pints a day that they can drink when they're not on duty.
Wow.
Yep, America's the only one that doesn't do that, that I know of.
Ew. So in here they have a toothbrush on the bottom left, a lice comb on the top, and a wig curler on the bottom right. And here's some tobacco pipes and some fishing weights and hook. My, how things have changed. Here's some musket balls. This is the skirmish at Point Peter.
Yeah, Point Peter's right down the road from here.
So this is what the infantry for the U.S. Army used to wear?
I think on a good day, yeah. A lot of times they wore their own clothing.
It's pretty white.
What's up, peoples?